Good. How you doing?
All right, linebacker Aiden Fisher. We'll start with Mike, and then we'll go to Zach.
Yeah, Aiden, with the continuity you guys had with the defensive coaching staff and sort of bringing back the veterans that you did, how further ahead do you feel at the start of fall camp this year than you did last year at this time?
Yeah, a lot further ahead. Just the guys and the verbiage that, when you bring in transfers or freshmen, it's the little things that, can get tweaked. So having them now that, they've had the spring, now that we got the freshmen, just a couple in the summer, they've been with us for meetings and stuff like that. So, it's been kind of seamless so far. It just comes down to those little things again and the little nuances in our defense that they got to learn. But we are way further ahead than we've been in the past.
Going right to Zach, Jared.
From James Madison to last year to now this year, how have you seen DAngelo evolve as a leader?
Oh, yeah. When he first got to JMU, he wouldn't say a word. He was quiet, just put his head down and work. But now he's trying to be more vocal. He's always been a lead by example type of guy. I mess with him. I tell him that doesn't even exist. He's got to use his voice a little bit. So now you see him kind of, bringing guys along and just pushing them to be better. And, I think it's going to make him better in the long run. But he's been phenomenal so far.
Staying right in the second row to Jared and then Lou.
It seems like a lot of the young guys are up to you. Do you sort of wear that on your shoulders so that they have at least a little lead?
Yeah, I do. And I think it honestly makes me a better player for it. Being able to show the young guys, the way and kind of how I got to where I am and, I'm striving for more, it makes me feel, more accountable and that I have to be doing these things, not only for myself but the people around me to make sure this program's heading in the right direction and ultimately that's to win a lot of football games.
We'll go second row left to Lou, then Pete.
A year ago, you were new here from Virginia. And how much has happened to you to change you and your playing experience in that year? And you were wondering what was going to happen perhaps at the Big Ten Media Days, if I recall, but also, and then you accomplished a lot. So where do you think, what kind of journey has that been?
Yeah, I think it's just been one of faith. I think I've been led down this path by God, and He's given me a lot of confidence in everything that I do, from Him through me. But when I first got here, yeah, there were some doubts for sure. A lot of questions I felt like I needed to answer. And throughout last season and, just keeping my head down and working, I think we established that confidence and kind of confirmed that, we could play here and we belong. But, yeah, it's been a surreal ride and one that's been a lot of fun.
Staying to left to Pete, and then go to Seth.
Aiden, in order to take the next step for you, what are the keys for you to do that? And then when you're not playing football and stuff, what do you do to kind of chill out or relax?
Yeah, to the first question, just what I need to do is, just keep working on my leadership. I realize that, this defense is a lot better when I'm able to, bring the energy that I bring, being a spark plug, and just having guys feed off of me and being able to do that. When it comes to football itself, I want to get better in pass coverage, which I think I've done a good job of. Talking to a lot of coaches, even outside of, Indiana and just coaches that I'm close with, just stuff like that. And the run game, just working on getting off blocks, the same stuff that you got to keep consistent or you can fall behind the 8 ball quick. And then, outside of football, I was getting into golf a lot. Now in fall camp, I just go home and go to bed. You get tired quick and you have long days, so sleep is my best friend right now.
Front row left to Seth, and then Daniel.
Yeah, Aiden, with all the football you've played with Mikhail the last few years, what does it mean for you two to be starting this journey again together one more time?
Yeah, it's amazing. I know after last year there were some questions about, who's coming back and stuff like that, and I was able to talk to him and, was really happy with the decision he made to come back for not only himself, but, for me too. It was good to have him back, but, I've seen him take so many steps from taking care of his body to being a leader, just everything that, you want in a guy like that and a leader on your defensive line. But it's been amazing. We got in, I think I was a year or two after him at JMU, and then just kind of keeping this thing rolling together. It's been great.
Go Daniel in front, and then Jared.
Bro Hardy, when did it just kind of click like, okay, he's a guy?
I would say like mid-season last year. We knew in practice that he was young. He was going to take a little bit of time to develop. But once we got into the season and game plans, he just kind of erupted. Everything that he did, he was always in the right spot. He always found the ball. Everything he was doing was right. And athletically, he's as gifted as anybody. So it was just a matter of time when he could catch on mentally and kind of learn those little nuances that we have. And, he caught on very quick last season, probably by like week 5 or 6.
Go second row right to Jared.
There's a photo that was making the rounds on social media, I think, like last week, where there was the family that had lost a family member, and you guys sent them
the signed helmets and everything. How did you hear about that, and you know, how did you sort of come up with that idea to send all that stuff to them?
Yeah, I was tagged on Twitter, and I just really felt obligated to help this family. Knowing my situation, I've lost my father and then my stepfather to an aggressive form of brain cancer. So this family lost their mother to cancer, and it kind of just tugged on my heartstrings. I called my mom about it, and we're both in tears on the phone. So DM'd him right away, and just kind of want to make sure that we have some things set up for him. And knowing that, you know, even not right now, his boys are young, but when they get older, if they ever need somebody to talk to, I kind of want to, you know, be able to help just how much I've been through. I feel like I could, you know, be able to help them. And I think, honestly, like my purpose, I'm starting to find out from God, is just to help people and use my platform. And I think, you know, that's ultimately what it was.
Thanks, Aiden.
Cool. Thank you, guys.